Both T-54 and T-55 are series of main battle tanks designed in Soviet Union since 1947. Since 1950s, T-54 series tanks began the frontline armor unit of Soviet Red Army, Soviet Warsaw Pact or Middle Eastern allies. T-54 series tanks have a 120 mm frontal armor and 205 mm turret armor. It is powered by a water-cooled V55 800 horsepower diesel engine and have maximum speed of 51 km per hour. T-54 and T-55 tanks are armed with a D10T 100 mm main gun, a 7.62 mm SG-43 light machine gun or 12.7 mm DSHK heavy machine gun. Iraq, one of the main Soviet Arab allied country, received 1,500 T-54 series tanks from Soviet Union, Romania and Poland between 1958 to 1986. Syria, the main Soviet ally in Arab countries, received 2,000 T-54 series tanks from Soviet Union and then Russian Federation between 1958 to 2008. On the other hand, T62 is the advanced development of T-54 series tanks. It was introduced by Soviet Union in 1961. T62 has 214 mm frontal armor and 102 mm turret armor, powered by 581 horsepower V55 liquid-cooled diesel engine and have maximum speed of 50 km per hour at road and 40 km per hour at cross-country. T-62 is the first Soviet main battle tank equipped with 115 mm 2A20 main gun capable to fire armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot rounds, a 7.62 mm PKTM or 12.7 mm DSHK machine gun is carried as secondary armament. Over 1,000 T-62 tanks were delivered to both Syria and Iraq between 1973 to 2004. Sho't Kal is the Israeli version of modified British Centurion main battle tank. It features a new Rolls-Royce Meteor patrol engine, night vision sight, a new radio communication, a thicker frontal and turret armor, and a British 105 mm L7A1 rifled cannon. A 12.7 mm M2 Browning is used as secondary armament in Sho't Kal. Israeli Sho't Kal tanks used Hesh high explosives round alongside armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot rounds. Hesh is a high-explosive round, where the payload is plastic explosives and the fuse have a slight delay. Because the gun has rifling, the spin imparted on the round makes the plastic explosive pancake out on the armor millisecond before it detonates. It doesn't penetrate the armor, but the shockwave transmitted through the armor causes a football-sized slab of armor to spall in tiny fragments at the speed of sound, killing the crew and detonating ammunition inside. A hit from a Hesh round usually generated a catastrophic Amarak detonation. On 6 October 1973, during Battle of Valley of Tears of Yom Kippur War, over 500 Syrian T-54, T-55 and T-62 tanks heavily outnumbered 100 Israeli Sho't Kal tanks in Golan Heights near Israel-Syria border. Though heavily outnumbered, Israeli tanks were successful to hold the ground before more IDF reinforcements arrived the front line. This was because better training, technology and strategy. Israeli Army tank crews were trained in long-range gunnery skill by using high grounds, plus Israeli Sho't Kal tanks had high elevation and depression rate in its gun turret than Syrian or Iraqi T55 or T62 tanks. This helped Israeli Army tankers to use their Sho't Kal tanks with greater efficiency than Syrian or Iraqi T55 or T62 tanks. The L7A1 105mm gun had range of 3,600 meters than Syrian or Iraqi T55's 2,200 meters range. The only advantage Syrian or Iraqi T55, T62 enjoyed in 1973 was the Soviet-made infrared searchlight, which enabled them to identify Israeli Sho't Kal tanks at night. Plus the Hesh round of Israeli Sho't Kal tanks became a game-changer against Syrian, Iraqi T55 or T62 tanks. If the round missed the Syrian or Iraqi tanks, Israeli Sho't Kal tanks aimed for it would still wreak havoc amongst the supporting infantry or other armored combat vehicles like BMP-1 or BTR-152, as it was a high-explosive round. Pure win-win. Israeli Army used their Sho't Kal tanks till early 1990s, however their uses were decreased in frontline due to introduction of more modern domestic Merkava Mark II or III and American M60A3 tanks in 1980s. On the other hand, Syrian and Iraqi government bought more modernized version of T55, T62 as well new T64 and T72 tanks from Soviet Union in late 1970s and 1980s.